almost got my fingers. Hello and welcome back. You're here for a Christmas time recipe. Today we are recreating sandwiches and salads from the 1920s, and this week we are doing more of the recipes that you guys voted on. So today we have our poinsettia salad, and in honor of that I have worn my poinsettia apron. Very adorable. It's a terry cloth apron. We are also going to make the crab sandwiches. So I think we're going to start, you know what, normally I feel like I'd start with a salad and let that chill, but I think the crab, we'll start with the crab sandwiches, make the crab filling, and then we'll make our salad. Without further ado, let's get into that. First step is to get some of these ingredients prepped. So we have the carrots here. Those need to be grated. And the crab meat, we chose canned crab because I imagine that's probably what they would have been using back in the day. I don't think it specifies. Does it say canned? It just says crab, right? Does it even actually say? Yeah, a half a cup of crab meat. So we bought canned, and I picked, they had different cans. So there's bumblebee lump crab, chicken of the sea white crab, and bumblebee white crab. I don't know what the difference between all of these are, but Tori, while I am doing the carrots, can you open and drain those, please? What do I like about a box grater? Most of the stuff stays inside of the box in here. It doesn't make a huge, I mean, I'm making a little bit of a mess, but I'm not making a huge mess, so that's kind of nice.
Would you say it's great?
I would say it's great. Carrots always have this like sharp, I don't know what kind of smell. There's some kind of a sharp, bitter smell in carrots. Do you ever smell that?
You just smell like carrots.
The lump crab meat is in a bag in here. I have never in my life seen that. Why is that? I'm sure some of you guys know why it's in a bag. Why is the crab meat in a bag? This is weird. We have a cup here, and there's a little bit left over. I'm trying to determine, should we just use the leftover and have a little more, maybe like a cup and a quarter, or should I just put this in the bone broth bag? What else are we going to use this for? We have our celery here. I'm just getting it finely chopped a little bit. And if you remember from last week or the week before, whatever one of the last recipes we did, it called for onion juice, and we didn't have onion juice, but I decided it would be a neat idea to try and juice an onion, and we did. So I do have some leftover onion juice there that we'll use, and it also calls for a very little red pepper. And Tori questioned, why are you all the way over there? Come in here.
Because it's weird when I'm just standing here staring at you as you talk.
Well, I don't know about that.
Well.
Go ahead, tell them what you were thinking, what you asked me.
So it says, a very little red pepper. And I didn't know if that meant they wanted the pepper to be very little, or they wanted a very little amount of pepper.
And I think based on, I mean, tell us if you guys feel differently. I think based on how these recipes have been before, a very little red pepper just means like a little bit of red pepper, not a teeny tiny adorable little red pepper.
I want a teeny tiny adorable little red pepper now.
How much celery, Tori?
Half a cup, I believe.
Okay, we have a half a cup here. Scoop it on in there. Oh, go this side. I always get in trouble because I scoop with the sharp area of my blade. And everyone's always like, Ashley, don't do that. That's bad for your blade and you're going to cut your hand off. I'm like, well, probably all right. Half and half, and then let's get our very little red pepper. How much do you think a very little is? How about that much? And I assume it needs to be chopped up. Oh, that is so noisy. And it all needs to be mixed together in a bowl?
All ingredients, then mix well with mayonnaise, then add crab. So don't mix all.
Yeah, mix all the ingredients except all the other ones. Only the ones we want you to mix. All of them, but only the ones we want you to do. Yeah, that's funny. Okay, go get me a bowl, will ya? Thank you. I'm just gonna mince this up, even though it doesn't say to do that.
This size?
Yeah, that's great. It's probably not the right size, but
it never is.
okay. Carrot. Ooh, a cup of finely ground pecan meat. So we do have our pecans, and we need a cup of those finely ground. Oh boy. So is that like trying to make it maybe similar to peanut butter, like a pecan butter? Is that what it wants?
Maybe like a pecan dust.
Okay. The peppers, a very little of the peppers in there. And how should we process this? A cup of them. I could put it through the food processor. I'm sure some of you would say that's okay, but part of me doesn't want to because they didn't have food processors in 1920. And they didn't have a lot of the same stuff in 1920, but I do want to keep it partially accurate. So I think I will just kind of, let's bang them with a meat mallet. What do you think? Good idea? Okay.
You can bang the nuts, I'm not gonna.
Okay. Here. A cup. Alright. I bet this makes a mess. I should put a towel over this so it doesn't make a huge mess, right?
Or put it in a Ziploc.
I don't want to waste a Ziploc for that.
Fair.
And pound plastic into it, so I'm just going to put a tea towel. Look how cute my tea towel is. I don't know if I've ever shown you some of my tea towel collection. I have all sorts of them. This one, I think I got this one at a thrift store, but a lot of them I've gotten either at antique shops or they've been given to me as gifts. The oil's starting to come out on them. I can see it starting to dust there. Oops. I have banged them off the table here. Some of it looks to be ground into a fine dust in the middle, and the outside is not quite so much. I see it right in there. It's ground nicely. This still needs a little bit of work. Maybe I'll just scoop this portion out and put it in the bowl and then keep pounding the rest of it. Now there's some things, I really want to keep this as authentic as possible in 1925 I have a lot of things, but a lot of them are packed away. But there's also some things I just can't be bothered with, and I don't really know where the line is. I guess it just depends on my mood. I can tell you for whipping things. Like if I have to whip cream,
I'm not doing that by hand.
I can't be bothered to do it by hand.
I did it once, I will never do it again.
Oh.
And by once I mean it didn't whip.
Yeah.
After 3 hours.
Alright, I think that's probably good enough. Our pecan meats are in here. We have half a teaspoon of onion juice. It just doesn't seem like enough. We're gonna go with it.
Oh, there's a tiny bit of it in the cabbage salad and it still gave a good kick.
Okay. And salt.
Right here?
Oh. 1/3 of a teaspoon. We're just gonna, that seems about right. Yeah, I don't think we need sugar in there. Do you?
No.
Okay. Measure out, put this in here until it is a half cup. While I mix this together.
What you're gonna whisk this with?
Huh?
I was gonna use that to pull the crab out.
Oh. Sorry about your luck. Okay, I think we're mixed pretty well here. There is that. So 1 can was a half a cup. I had Tori open all 3 of these and we only really needed 1. Oh wait, I was supposed to put the mayo in first. That's all right. We have the crab in there and we're gonna add our mayo in.
Maybe they shouldn't have said mix all ingredients.
Well,
And then the mayo.
yeah.
And then the crab.
This is why you're supposed to read a recipe all the way through first.
What are you, a home ec teacher?
And no, God bless all of the teachers in public schools now, because you could not pay me $1 million to go back and teach again. All right, and that is what it looks like. I think that's a pretty good consistency for a crab salad, for a sandwich at least. I think this looks pretty good. So what we're gonna do is put this in the fridge to chill while we get the poinsettia salad together. So we have our poinsettia salad that we're gonna make here. I couldn't find endives, so I just used the kind of the heart of the hearts of romaine. So just the inner leaves of the romaine to kind of make this. And then it says to use pineapple slices and make a ring. So I don't know if it means like rings of pineapple and then make a ring. If it meant like just take pineapple slices and make one big ring. It kind of feels like that's more likely. Now, at first I was picturing just like taking overlapping slices around, but now that I'm thinking about a poinsettia, although I don't really know what the ring would be. I don't know. Yeah, I think maybe I'll kind of just break these open and make a big ring. What do you think? Do you think, whoops. You think I should have done this differently?
I think that looks fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't understand what they want
Mm-mm.
that to be from the poinsettia.
Right. Okay, now we want our cream cheese to be run through a ricer here. And then I feel like pecans would be good in here as well. Well, I'm running this through the ricer.
Careful.
Can you grab me, oops, a spoon, spilling the juice on my hands. So I have my potato ricer here, this trusty thing. I got this the first time that Nani and I went to that cooking class in Italy back in 2013. I got this potato ricer then, and it has been very trusty over the years. I think that's probably a good amount. Okay, these need to be very finely ground. So, Tori, could you put those through the mortar and pestle while I'm doing this as well? Whoops.
How much?
Just some, it appears. All right, we'll see if you guys can see that. Falling down. It's kind of cool. It looks like Play-Doh. We have pecans that Tori ground down for us. Let's sprinkle them over on top of here. I think it's interesting. They want us to sprinkle it on top and then cover it in mayonnaise that has been beaten with heavy cream. Again, it doesn't say how much of any of this, so I guess we're just estimating just to thin this out a little bit more. How thin do you think it should be, Tori?
A little bit thinner than that.
Okay.
Kind of like drizzle consistency. Oh, maybe that was too much.
Overall, for the mayonnaise, which has been beaten with half of its bulk. Well, yes, it did say. I just didn't read that. This probably is about half of its bulk. And you can see it is getting poured. Now it wants a sweet, fresh, or canned pimento. Now I don't know where to find a fresh pimento, and I have the canned pimentos here, but the slices are so tiny. I just can't imagine that that is what they want. So we're gonna use the rest of the red pepper that was left over from a very little red pepper that we used for the crab salad, and we'll use this and use that to make the leaves or the petals. What are leaf shape pieces for this? Do they mean like a leaf or do they mean a petal? Because I imagine that the endive, that kind of whitish green, should be the leaves, and the red should be the petal. That would be my assumption. I was talking to some friends at church about the poinsettias. I took one home last year after the season was over, and it's still good. Like a year later, it is still alive, which is not something normal for me. Oh, you know what? An inch is not very big, so maybe these are fine to use, but we're already here. So that's teeny tiny. That there is about an inch. That is so small. Here, you know, I thought these were going to be too little, but I guess they're the right amount. I was thinking maybe like this big, but I guess that's 1.5 inches to 2 inches. They are making it radiating, but it's almost, oh, I bet, so looking at this, I bet they're trying to just make a miniature version. So the big green leaves, and this should be the small thing in the middle, but maybe it's just a little under. We have finished our poinsettia salad. We have our little half a nut meat in the middle there. We have a walnut. And now we're going to finish our sandwiches. I'm cutting the crusts off like it requests. And then I'm going to butter these slices. I'm doing mine first, and then I'll do Tori's after, because I don't want her gluten to taint my gluten-free bread. So soften butter. And then we are to put the heart leaf of a lettuce on here. And I don't know if it wants us to put a giant heart leaf, because this heart leaf would be like this. That would be stupid. So maybe just half of that leaf. The other half will go here. And then we will put our crab meat on here. There we go. That looks pretty good. Now you will not be trying the salad because it has pineapple, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So let's start with the sandwiches then, and then I will try the salad. They look nice. You guys want to see? That's what mine looks like. Or you want to show them yours?
Same thing, but with gluten.
Mm-hmm. They look pretty good.
Yeah. Looks and smells like
I actually
a good tuna salad.
Yeah, I made a comment earlier about it's only a half a teaspoon or whatever of onion juice, but the onion, I can smell the onion really strong here, I think. Mm-hmm. All right. Cheers. Cheers. Thoughts?
The crab isn't very strong.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the texture of the pecans in here, like that crunch that's a different crunch than the carrots, and that sounds stupid to say out loud, but it's like the varying textures is really nice.
Yeah, I think the carrots are like a crisp crunch, and the pecans are like a smooth crunch.
Yes.
It's like a firm smoothness. But yeah, I agree. You can't really tell that you're eating crab, I don't think. I think overall the flavor is pretty mild. I think this is pretty delicious.
It is, and the onion is pretty strong in there. Not like super strong.
Yeah.
Like it's not overwhelming, but you can definitely taste that it's in there.
It adds a nice flavor to it. I agree. I wonder if the butter is to keep it from being soggy.
Yes. I was wondering, I'm like, why are we buttering these?
Yes.
And that makes sense.
Because you don't taste it. It doesn't add anything to it, I don't think, to the flavor or anything like that to it. But I assume it's maybe just to keep the bread from getting soggy. But yeah, I think this was a win. I'll be finishing that. And now for how does one serve a portion of this salad? This is a great question. So I think I'll just maybe cut a little into here and hope I'm getting some pineapple, I suppose. Oh, I'm getting that. That didn't cut the pineapple at all. All right. Okay. Pineapple. And let's get a little bit of the poinsettia, the pepper in there. I think this is going to be one of those things, my prediction. We mentioned last week the red pepper really was kind of a nice complement to whatever we were eating last week, I forget. But I have a feeling the red pepper is not going to be a complement to this, but I don't know. It does smell nice. The pineapple with the cream cheese, and you can smell the mayonnaise with the cream, but actually the tang, maybe over the last couple of years having to eat mayo so often with these recipes, it's kind of growing on me a little bit. I don't hate it as much as I used to. It actually, the smell is kind of pleasant, that little tang with the sweetness of the pineapple. You know, honestly, I didn't really taste the red pepper that much in that bite, but the pineapple mixed with the cream cheese and the heavy cream and the mayonnaise, it's kind of just this pineapples and cream kind of flavor. And overall, I can't say I would ever make this again. That was a lot of labor for this little tiny salad, but it does taste nice. If you like what you saw today, please make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss another week of recipes. Join us next week where we are recreating some more of the dishes that you voted on. See you then.